see ahead of time how bored I'd be in divination class.
Revelio.
Oh, nice. So knowledgeable.
Adelaide Oaks, isn't it? I received your owl.
Yes, I'm Adelaide Oaks. Oh dear. You see, my uncle Roland is a metal trader who's quite well known in the goblin community. He normally sends me owls every week when he's on his business travels. In his last owl, he alluded to dealings with those radical goblins, Ranrock's loyalists. It's been ages since that owl and I'm worried. What with the troll attack on Hogsmeade and the rumours that goblins may have been involved, well, I'm fearing the worst. Should I be worried about my uncle, or am I overthinking this?
I think you're right to be concerned, Adelaide. Your uncle may be in trouble.
You're much more understanding than Professor Weasley. She heard I was going to look for him and forbade me from leaving the grounds. She's convinced he can handle himself, but I can't concentrate on anything until I know he's all right. Could you try to find out for me? From what I hear, you're almost as adventurous as Uncle Roland.
Has your uncle traded with many goblins?
Yes, for ages. Even speaks gobbledygook. But he only recently mentioned Ranrock's lot, insisting the galleons were worth the risk. He does it for me. Between robes and supplies, attending Hogwarts costs a fair sickle. And besides that, Uncle Roland has expensive taste. He's sacrificed so much for me over the years. I promised him that as soon as I finish Hogwarts, I shall be the one taking care of him.
I take it you and your uncle are close.
We are. My mother died when I was born, and I lost my father when I was 5. Uncle Roland's looked after me for as long as I can remember. He knows I get anxious when he travels, and that's why he sends me all the owls, to let me know that he's all right.
I'll try and look into it for you, Adelaide.
Thank you. He's very thorough in his record keeping, notes all his trades in a journal, makes maps. In fact, in his last owl, he drew me a map of his next stop. He'd planned to set up camp north of here. I do hope you're able to find out where he is. Thank you again for any help you can provide. Uncle Roland would never leave me to worry like this.
Revelio.
I hope those assignments were challenging enough for you.
I've completed all of my tasks, Professor Onai.
Very well done. Although I must admit, I did have something of a premonition that you would follow through. Now, as you have no doubt sharpened your perception by completing my assignment, I am curious. based upon the knowledge that one's present and even one's past may reveal traces of what is to come. What do you see in your own future?
There will be hardship, I'm sure of it, but I see triumph in the end.
A measured perception. Very wise. Nothing worthwhile is ever easy, and that is why such futures are worth striving for. But this talk of tomorrow should not divert us from your present success. I shall inform our good deputy headmistress of your exemplary performance. And if that performance is any omen of what your future may hold, then I, for one, see great things.
I hope Adelaide's Uncle Roland is all right. She seems very worried. Adelaide mentioned her uncle's camp may be near Brockborough, past the river.
You have it! Now, why not practice the new spell on the training dummy? Excellent. I think you have it. At some point, you must stop preparing and put your newly honed skills outside of the clearing.
Professor, do you have a moment?
I do.
I was wondering how you decided to teach divination.
The art of divination is an important yet often misunderstood branch of magic. Those of us who possess the sight are rare, and, as is often the case with the unique among us, we can frequently be misread, even feared. When I was granted the opportunity to teach others about my gift and the good it can do, I was most grateful.
I see. Natty told me that you and she moved here from Uganda, where she had attended Wagadu.
Yes, Natsai and I both loved Uganda and Wagadu, but we are happily settled here now. I had foreseen such a change, but did not know the details until it occurred. I was glad of the outcome. You would be wise to remember that the consequences of our actions are complex. And so, divining what is to come is not as simple as gazing into a crystal ball or studying the bottom of a teacup.
I find it truly intriguing, even if I don't fully understand it.
Intriguing. That is one word for it. And I'm certain you will come to understand many things more deeply in the days ahead. You are a student at Hogwarts, after all. It cannot have escaped you that we in the Wizarding world are forever navigating the seemingly inexplicable.
Of course, Professor.
Now, I know that we both have places to be. Not because I have the sight, mind you, but because I am a professor and you are a student. I have enjoyed our conversation.
I don't know why you don't just get a snitch from inside.
Because I told you, I can transfigure one. I've seen her do it, it's true. Soon get us a snitch. Non-verbal spells are very difficult. And risky. You could never do one.
Arresto momentum. Accio.
I didn't do anything, madam.
Nobody is getting punished. Bar perhaps a little cleanup of the ground.
But if this happens again, it'll be a most gruesome detention.
Yes, Madam
Mom.
Kagawa.
Marvelous dedication to the sport.
I told you she was good, didn't I? You should see her with a cookpot.
I wonder if you learn different things about astronomy at Uwagadu. Although I can't see anyone being as passionate about it as Shah.
I wish they'd let Ronan teach the entire curriculum. Charms is the only class I can stay awake for.
I'm convinced that behind her rather stodgy exterior, Professor Reason's had some rather marvelous adventures.
Sometimes I'm not fully sure if Ronan's teaching us a spell or having a practice himself. Don't you find? It's genuinely questionable as to whether the man's at Hogwarts to steer the next generation or to become the next Uric the Oddball.
Hello, Samantha. Are you here for Summoner's Court?
I am. I'm actually rather good at it. Used to play all the time with my brother until... Never mind. Shall we begin?
Yes, I'm ready to play.
Then let's get summoning. That was sensational! Accio! Yes! How am I to top that? Accio! Yes! How am I to top that? That settles it, then. After your poor show against Natty in class, I thought I could beat you. Appears I overestimated myself.
Don't say that, Samantha. You're a fine player.
Well, that's very kind of you. Let's just say if I'm good, then you're better. I happen to know who you're up against next, and she's no shy opponent. Best of luck.
Thinking in terms of good and evil merely indicates a limited imagination.
It's shameful what you've done to helpless beat Rebellion. Oh, here's a pleasant surprise. Repair. My lord himself would be proud. Could this be Mr. Oakes's campsite? Ranrock's loyalists, just ahead. Should I take them by force or be discreet? find out what happened here. Mr. Oakes's trade journal. Adelaide said that her uncle kept notes of his trades, maps. Perhaps these landmarks will lead me to him. A rock formation. That's the first landmark on this map. Now, to find the crooked tree. A crooked tree, just as the map said. The crumbling tower shouldn't be far from here.
I heard something. Stop right there! What was that? You! What do you think you're doing?
And the crumbling tower. The spot on the map should be directly south of here. What do we have here? Goodness, not a party to attend by myself. I may have more luck higher up in the keep. A ladder. That's what I need. This is the spot on the map. I'd best have my wits about me. Stone walls do a prison make.
Quiet.
Revelio.
What am I doing here? This patrol is worthless.
What will we find in here?
Revelio.
It's punishment to us all to have that miserable human around.
Such arrogance. Fight about as well as a pub.
Get away with that. All defense and no offense.
It looks as though Adelaide's instincts were spot on.
You only have Ranrock to Revelio.
I didn't touch your helm. But thank you for making me the first object of your suspicions. Know who my friends are now, don't I?
He'll learn his lesson after being locked away. You can count on that.
A boiler door. How to open it?
Not your best moment, I fear.
How nice of you to stop by.
You've one less follower, Ranrock.
One way or another, we'll get what we're owed.
Hello, over here. One less human to worry about. No! I will make you pay.
Let me see if you can defeat this.
Necessary. I will make you pay.
Your blood's on Ranrock's hands.
This must be Mr. Oakes's wand. Perhaps now he can set himself free.
Someone there?
I wonder if Adelaide's uncle could be down there.
What was that? Someone, little moon girl. Home, eh?
Placed as they were for good reason. You should not meddle in the personal affairs of others.
I don't think Mr. Pemberton meant to use his own stationery. He knows something about those demiguise moons. He's in Hogsmeade, apparently. Perhaps I shall pay him a visit.
Revelio.
Hello? Mr. Oakes?
Yes, I'm here. They've taken my wand. This cell has an enchanted lock. I have experience with these locks, but I need my wand if I have any chance of opening it. Look for a boiler door. I've heard them speak of it.
Fortunately, I've already found your wand, Mr. Oakes.
Please, pass me my wand. I can't get out of this damn cell without it. It's my last hope. Please. Oh, my wand. Oh, thank Merlin. Thank you. You did it! I found my wand and... Wait, you're a student? Oh, we must get you to safety immediately. It's dangerous.
It's all right, Mr. Oakes. I've dealt with these goblins before.
Dear Merlin, you're either very lucky or very talented. Well, how did you find me?
I'm a friend of Adelaide's. She was worried about your business with Ranrock's loyalists.
Oh, she was right to be. I couldn't go through with the agreement, and when I told them, I ended up blindfolded and behind bars. Been locked in that infernal cell for so long, they'd forgot I was even there. I overheard things. If only I could reward you for what you've done. Blasted goblin stole every canut on me. All I can say is thank you, truly.
You mentioned you overheard things.
Sad tale, really. I think I know where Ranrock's unfortunate vendetta against wizardkind began. Although dragon breeding was outlawed by the Warlocks Convention of 1709, Ranrock stumbled upon an illegal dragon camp. He was young, found the creatures fascinating. He'd visit the camp in secret whenever he could, never making his presence known. After weeks of sly surveillance, he finally summoned the courage to speak to the wizard in charge. Ranrock wanted to join them, and the creatures. The wizard happened to drop his wand. Ranrock saw an opportunity. He picked it up, went to hand it back as a means of introducing himself. The sight of a goblin with a wand sent the wizard into an instant rage. He beat Ranrock nearly to death. Ever since, Ranrock has despised wizard kind, sees us all as cruel.
Am I right that you speak gobbledygook?
Unbeknownst to Ranrock's fiends, I do. I've always had an affinity for goblin culture. Knew I wanted to be a metal trader ever since I was a lad. It wasn't easy learning the language. It's complex, and my memory's as weak as my knees these days. But after decades working with fine goblin folk, I grew fairly proficient. At least, I'd like to think so.
I'm grateful I was able to help you, Mr. Oakes. Adelaide thinks the world of you.
Oh, and I her. She's become quite savvy to my trading habits, always analyzing my detailed owls. If only I hadn't resorted to trading with such fiends. A lesson I shan't soon forget. Having my wand back is like being reunited with an old friend. I must return home and inform Adelaide of my safety. Will you be all right?
I'll be fine, Mr. Oakes. You get back to Adelaide. I assure you her worries outweigh yours.
Oh, I'm anxious to see my dear niece. And then I plan to travel far from here for my next round of trading. Thank you. May life reward you justly for your deeds. Be well, my friend.
Mr. Oakes was lucky. Ranrock's lot would never have freed him.
Is somebody there? An intruder! You've been paying it. That student defeated our encampment in the belt.
Not quite enough.
Revelio.
Someone's here.
This castle's hiding all sorts of...
Revelio.
Should think they felt that in London.
Revelio. Incendio. Revelio. Revelio. Revelio.
used to like transfiguration.
If I can just stop vanishing my notes when practicing Evanesco, I think I can get an O on my transfiguration OWL this year.
My cousin was transfigured into a mouse by an older bully last year. Took hours to get her to come out from under the bed.
I rather enjoy transfiguration myself. The complexity, the precise nature of it, truly something to be admired.
I managed to conjure a hedgehog once, but it disappeared after a few minutes. Shame.
Professor Weasley's already preparing me to take my transfiguration NEWT.